Hello YouTube and welcome to GrunfWorks. This is episode 78 of the Interplanetary Voyage of Exploration, and today we will be doing some Eve operations. So, now that being said, we have our man here, I think it's Mike J, who is finally arriving at Eve. So it is only time that we actually get a Kerbal in the orbit around Eve. We have been doing some probes, we have been doing some satellites, and it's time to get the cruise ship in the orbit around Eve. So as opposed to Duna, Eve has much higher gravity. So I'm not 100% sure if I will be executing the aerobrake here, because I have more than enough delta V to actually stop and perform the orbital insertion burn. As you can see, I'm still using the fuel that I have on my boosting stage, or transfer stage, sort of. So my lander hasn't even begun to burn its fuel. So, definitely. By the way, I'm sorry to maybe disappoint some of you, but Mike J will not be landing on the surface of Eve, because this dual nuke lander simply doesn't have enough oomph to go back, and I have a feeling that if I was to send a rescue craft, I would probably be starting an Eve colony, because I have never yet successfully managed to take off and go back to Eve. However, I'm not saying that we will not do it, because I'm simply waiting until we get technology a little bit further along to be able to have some more advanced drives. So, yeah. Consider Mike J a pioneer in the orbit around Eve. So doing the burn, it's not a big burn, roughly 100 meters per second total, and it will hopefully put us on a nice alignment in terms of Eve, so perfect. Looks good enough. That being said, although he will not be landing on Eve, I have a feeling that Gilly is a fair game, so I will definitely try to get some science around Gilly and probably even land at Gilly, because Gilly doesn't take that much delta V to land and take off, so might as well, you know. And some science finally, so let us grab some science, and while doing so I'm activating my communications antenna so that it communicates back to Kerbin. Hopefully get the connection. Yes, there it is. Perfect. So, mystery goo, materials, solar particle, and we'll do the EVA report, of course. But before we do that, we want to put out the ladders. So, yeah. Okay, I'm kind of flipping this a little bit spasmically, but what can you do? So now I'm adjusting my approach, because I do want to get close above Eve. So I don't want to aerobrake, but I still want to be close enough to get some close around Eve science. So burning for that one. Perfect. Okay, and let's see which way we need to be pointing when we will be not aerobraking, but braking around Eve. So 169.4 meters per second, which is not that big of a burn, and we can align ourselves. That would put us in a highly elliptical orbit around Eve. Perfect. And we have another spare battery that we needed to replace, because our battery went bye-bye, courtesy of Dangit. So yeah, just making sure that we are correctly aligned with our maneuver node. And roughly 200 meters per second burn. So yeah. Yeah, battery has short-circuited. Yeah, thanks, dang it. And now, it was the time that I switched to recycling station that was supposed to going around Eve. However, I was affected by NAN bug. And also, some of my ships have disappeared. So I'm terminating all the debris now, because I realized when you get to the point that where you have 55 flights, strange things start to happen. So I did a massive cleanup, and unfortunately I had to terminate also the Eve recycler. I'm sorry for that, guys. If I was to continue with that one, it would probably kill my save completely. So I had to make a hard call and just, terminate that one, as hard as it was. Nevertheless, the Joule one is still doing well, and it's en route to Joule, so at least we'll be able to see how that one will perform. So the burn will be in 3 days roughly, and we can take some time to appreciate approach to Eve. Eve is really beautiful with its thick clouds and harsh gravity. Eve is basically a tough mistress, so yeah, you don't mess with Eve. Okay, some more science, and that's the space near Eve, so yeah, let us make sure that we collect whatever we can. I mean, after all, we are here to collect mainly mystery goo and crew reports and all that stuff that we couldn't do with the probes. I guess all the other stuff we already collected by probes, so yeah. 2 minutes to our burn. Taking some final science, and I just decided I might as well deploy the ladder, because EVA report is dependent on the biome, so I'm expecting to get maybe a few more in the worst case scenario. So let's see. And perfect. I think that's good enough. And my goal is actually to go to Gilly. Given how my maneuver node looks, I'm actually thinking I might be even parking in the orbit around Gilly. If you remember, in one of the previous episodes, Eve Ops... Oh, dang it, what is it now? Take spares. Oh, and supplies container was leaking. Yeah, well, those guys we have to fix, otherwise we will be in deep problems. We don't want our life support supplies to run out. Okay. Sunrise above Eve and a little bit of blinking, courtesy of some random issue, I guess. And yeah, I've seen a couple of my commenters saying that they're going to make a drinking game out of whenever we have a problem with Dang It. Well, good luck with this episode, that's all I can tell you. So as you can see, this is I think already the third issue that I'm having with Dang It. So, well, what can you do? Pun intended. Anyway. I don't know if I will be fixing all of them, because I'm obviously prioritizing the more important issue, because we don't have infinite spares, so that's something also we have to keep in mind. Okay, so doing some more maneuvers just to make sure that we somewhat align with Gilly, because I want to dock, I guess, Mike J to Eve Orbital. So let's see if we can pull that one off. Come on. Next orbit, please. So I'm trying... Oh, again, EVA report, some more science. Sure, why not? Sorry for the little bit accelerated, guys, but I really wanted to collect all the science, so... Yeah. Okay, let's see if we can modify something at the apoapsis and see if we got any Gilly encounters. And why? Did my target just reset? Apparently so. Okay, well, nevertheless, let's just pull a little bit more. And a tank of monopropellant is leaking. Dang it! Strikes again. I believe our black cat and all of its kittens are in this ship. Mike J, look at it from the positive side. You will become an expert mechanic. When you get back home, you will get to teach all of our other Kerbals in terms of how to repair stuff on the fly. That is, if you come back home. Well, I hope you do. So, yeah, let's review the science. We can send some more science because we don't want the science to be lingering. It is meant to be collected, studied, and used to advance our research. That's its main goal. And dang it, a tank of liquid fuel is leaking. Like I said, dang it, our friend is here and live and vibrant as ever. Okay. I mean, I don't get how you get this many dang it faults shortly. I mean, granted, I play with entropy, but still, guys, I mean, this sounds like, I don't even recall how many failures I had in total in this episode. I think it's now around 4, right? Well, I'm pretty sure some of you commenters might be interested in actually checking the count. If you do, please let me know what's the total failure count in this episode. I have a feeling it might be record breaker. Anyway. Okay, burning until we get the Gilly encounter and... Oh, sorry, not Gilly. I think we're now around Joule, yes. Because we needed to make Joule Nuke 1 correction to ensure that we get actually an encounter. So, back to our Gilly craft. It was a short interlude just to make sure that I don't forget about my maneuver node. Anyway, we are in the orbit around Gilly, and as you can see, I did a cleanup because my Gilly orbital station has gotten deleted. So I only noticed when I was recording this, so I actually added it back manually. Like I said, if I mess up and the tank of monopropellant is leaking again, dang it, we love you. Like I was saying, we basically... I can accept the fact that I messed something up, and in that case, I'm fully willing to take responsibility for that. However, given that my station got deleted for no obvious reason, I went into the actually the persistent file from one of my older backups, and I have just decided to put the station manually back in. Please don't judge me, I mean, I don't consider it to be cheating. I believe the Kraken is cheating, so yeah. I think it's simply when you come to the point where you have 55 flights, some flights get deleted, or I get a random crash, which basically affects my persistence save. So, and I have so many crafts I cannot really keep track if any of them got deleted during the save. So, I reserve the right, if I see station or a craft being wrongfully deleted, to basically return it back. And as you can see in this part, a tank of carbon dioxide is leaking. Talking about record breaker with dang it. Now I'm really scared that I will run out of spares. I'm even thinking of ignoring the ones that I really don't need, because carbon dioxide, we don't really need it. As far as I care, it can freely go back out. It can be vented into the atmosphere. To my knowledge, venting carbon dioxide into this into the void of space will not affect our anything. So yeah. Okay, so let's see. Oh, come on. Does it stop? Maybe it does not. Maybe I have to manually mute the alarm. That's better. Sorry, guys. I'll see if I can maybe cut a little bit out in the post-processing. Okay. So, rather than doing the rendezvous with the station, I'm actually first fixing my inclination, and I'm even thinking maybe we should land first. Because, yeah, we're still having this big tank, and I still want to use some of its Delta V to actually do stuff. Not that we need it. I think maybe actually, yeah. Come to think of it, it's better that we just ditch it. And it went boom. Okay, as you can see, sometimes I don't need dang it. I have myself. That's dang it enough. Okay, let's see. Circularizing orbit a little bit. And this is kind of cool because all the burns here are so tiny, you really have to be careful. So 4.9 meters per second to just nicely circularize the orbit. Beautiful. And 18.9 meters per second to stop dead in our tracks and just land on Gilly. Well, it's an opportunity that I do not plan to miss, that's for sure. So yeah. Okay. Closing our communitron, and we have in 32 minutes we have our maneuver node. So basically I did remove the maneuver node because I don't really need it. It's just more here for orientation where I would like to land. So let us extend the landing legs. And let's hope that our landing, that Mike J has better landing skills than Jeb. If you remember, Jeb managed to, well, land on the side twice. So yeah, let's check this, how this landing go. Some nice tea to go along with the episode. Coming up on Gilly. Okay, let's see. And at this point my game crashed, so I had to restart and I forgot to hit record, so nothing happened majorly in between, I only came closer, so this is Mike J landing. Perfect. So as you can see, Mike J had much better luck than Jeb. That being said, I'm waiting until the system to stabilize so that I can actually start playing whack-a-mole with my science alert. And I have turned off the the SAS, because I'm hoping that we will be able to touch the ground correctly, and we did. Perfect. So, let us do the whack-a-mole. Science whack-a-mole. Packing the solar panels and EVA report. And once again EVA report. This time we are going down to take the surface sample, plant a flag on Gilly, and send another EVA report. Just please don't hit any of the lander's landing legs. Thank you. So Mike, surface sample and EVA report, and you get a chance to proudly plant the flag of GrunfWorks at Gilly. So, slightly crooked, but I'm okay with it. I wonder if I could jump into the orbit. Well, Mike, please, don't do that experiment. I still need you. So yeah. We got in, and let us close down the experiments. No need to dilly-dally any longer here, so might as well, pack our stuff and go. Opening up the solar panels and picking up the ladder, and let's go. So this biome is Midlands, and I'm actually starting to think, well, this was easy enough, so why don't we take one more? After all, no harm in getting some more science, right? So might as well. A light bulb has burned out. Yet another courtesy of dang it. Well, dang it has just gone from fun to slightly annoying, and I'm actually thinking some of you guys who, basically commented on me playing with dang it will probably be laughing your ass off. And you have every right to do so. I mean, this episode, I think it's dang it culmination. But, word of warning to you, I'm not only playing with dang it, I'm also playing with entropy, so yeah, those two have definitely decided to make my life miserable. Or Mike J's life miserable. So yeah. Doing a little bit of time acceleration, because I really want to make sure that I land on another biome, and we're still above Midlands, so I'm just waiting until we pass something else. I'm even thinking to maybe rendezvous with this. Oh, and Highlands. There we go. So I was even thinking for a second to rendezvous first with the orbital station, but why? These are such minuscule burns that we actually... doesn't make us any sense to actually not to just go straight down. So I'm slightly burning, making sure that I slow down my my orbital speed and still land at Highlands. That's kind of my main focus at the moment. I have not yet seen how the Highlands look on Gilly, and I'm yet to see what the slope will look like. Oh dear, 20 degrees. Well, the good stuff is that although the angle is high and gravity is not that harsh, so maybe we can just use SAS to keep us level. I don't know. 27 degrees. Oh dear. Now I'm getting slightly concerned. Let's see. 270 meters. Coming slightly down. And yeah, I'm very nervous actually at the moment. I've even tried to reduce my footprint. Jesus, this is very much sloped. Oh dear. The good stuff is that you can actually land and take off on the RCS, but still I feel that this is... Whoa. Oh, and there's actually smaller slope just a little bit higher up and back. I actually might use that one rather. Okay, let's see our RCS translation. I also have to watch my horizontal speed, because last time when we were landing on Duna, that basically was what caused us to flip. Not the slope, but the horizontal speed. So making sure that my horizontal speed is as low as possible. It's kind of hard landing to be very, very precise. So I'm monitoring my nav ball. But then again, my thrusters are usually dancing, and I'm also monitoring the slope with the other eye. So yeah. And okay, 15 degrees, that's something I think I'll have to live with. Okay, come on, settle please. Come on, experiments, just do whatever you can. Perfect. And I think I'll keep the SAS on. At least it will try to keep the craft level. EVA report. Take data. Store the data, and let's just go down and take surface sample, and I want to get a little bit away from the ship. Take surface sample, take EVA report, overwrite whatever you have, I don't care. Plant a flag. Gilly Highlands done. This is fun. I mean, this is crooked, that's what it is. Okay, very gently, because I'm worried if I hit the craft at too high of a speed, I'll tip it over. Okay, that didn't happen, so great. Now I think it's time that we go back to our Gilly orbital station and park there. And then I think I will call it an episode. So let's go up. Our apoapsis is rising ever so quickly. Closing down the landing gear, and now withdrawing the landing legs. Perfect. Overall, I'd say that this mission was a success, so let us just now see if we can get a nice rendezvous with Gilly Orbital. And the tank of monopropellant is leaking. Dang it! Seriously. I mean, really, seriously. This is just insane, guys. I'm really curious, can really somebody please count the total number of dang it failures? I'd be eternally grateful, thank you. So yeah. Okay. Going up. And perfect, now it's time for our burn, and I'm already putting up docking alignment indicator. Despite the fact that my target is out of range, at this point I don't really care. Perfect. Okay, and let's do the burn. Alright. So that means that on the next orbit we will be encountering the Gilly orbital station. Perfect. So I'm putting a maneuver node ahead just to make sure that it warns me about the encounter. Not exactly a circular orbit, but at this point I really don't care. All I want to do is park this guy until its transfer window from Eve to Kerbin in 1 year and 80 days comes back up, so that I can actually return him back. I could be doing more biomes, but I don't know. I'll think about it. And anyway, we're coming up on Gilly orbital, so I decided to hit a little bit more time acceleration. Otherwise we would be showing this at too low of... it would take too long. And we are already around the 30-minute mark. So I think, guys, the moment I basically dock, I will call this for the episode. At least that's my thought at the moment. So let's see. Making sure that I align the docking align indicator. Screenshot, and then it's a matter of just getting those markers in place. 225 meters out. Not too shabby, so let's just proceed. Opening the ladder in case Mike J needs to go out for any reason. Cannot think of any reason. Dang it. So yeah. We are already nicely lined up, so it's just a matter of translation burn. So yeah, guys. I think I'm gonna call this for the episode. Like if you like the episode, hit that subscribe button for more KSP content that should be coming soon. Once again, guys, thank you very much for watching, and this is GrunfWorks signing off from the orbit around Gilly.